Hello everyone, my name's Nisha and I am the YogicAmnesiac. And today we're talking about what to do when you've just plateaued in your practice. No matter what kind of exercise you're doing, or activity in fact, this goes across all sorts of things. Music, dancing, anything you can plateau in and you feel like you're not getting better anymore. It's a really common problem and it can really be discouraging. So we're going to talk about ways to get over that and what you can do. I cannot stress how awesome of an idea I think it is to keep a journal. And I've heard so many people suggest this, and I suggest this as well. Not only does it give you an opportunity to write down where you are, your thoughts, maybe even act as a way to vent when you have hit a plateau, but it gives you the opportunity to look back and see how you have progressed so far. I know for dance, for a while, there were certain aspects that I just felt like I was not getting any better in, and keeping a journal really helped me realize that I am getting better, even if it's in small increments here and there, or how practicing things like that has helped me in the long run before, and how I can do it again. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really bad at doing things alone. For me, if I hit a plateau or I feel like I'm not going anywhere, it's really nice to do something with a friend. I honestly think that having someone to practice with can make a really big difference. Personally, I really enjoy practicing with my husband, especially because I get to see him advance in his practice and change, and it just makes me feel better about everything going on. It also adds a fun element to practicing yoga. It makes it less about I need to hit the next milestone and more about let's do this together, have fun, and maybe even work on something else. I know that oftentimes you feel kind of weird, but with partners and friends, you can always try something new that you've either never tried before, or you can even branch out and start trying things like acro yoga or partner yoga. Another option is to go try a new studio or a new instructor. It's possible that the instructor you have now might not be high enough level for you, especially if you've plateaued and you feel like maybe you can't advance in that class anymore. I know I've been in classes before where I've advanced and done really well, and I still enjoy the classes, but I'm definitely a higher level now than the class. If you think that's the case, you should try a higher level class, or maybe trying another class will give you something to reach for. Also, sometimes instructors may not offer the same variety that you want to see in a different instructor, just because that's their teaching style or for whatever reason. So you might want to go and try a different instructor out just to see something new and a new perspective. Part of the reason you may be plateauing is also because certain aspects of your practice are not being met. Like I said before with my previous yoga classes, lower level yoga classes that I was taking were focusing more on flexibility and not enough on strength. So I wasn't really becoming any stronger and I was already flexible. I had hit a plateau or a wall simply because I was not in the right place that I needed to be. I found that I could actually practice on my own and get the benefits that I wanted, but for a lot of people, going to a new class would be more beneficial. Another thing that going to a different class will help with is just introducing you to new poses or reminding you of poses, or helping you practice poses that you have either never done before or very rarely done before. I know for me, I'm reaching a plateau in my instructor career just because I can't think of more poses and I'm running out of poses. This is a really big reason why I look to other instructors and other places to remind me of poses and say, oh yeah, I should do that in my practice, or I should incorporate this in my practice, or even I should start practicing this so I can be a more advanced practitioner myself. Sometimes you really just are so good that you can't do a pose any more differently. Your body is simply not made to go any further. And that's a really very real plateau, but that doesn't mean it's the end of your practice. We can make a whole video about that, but just to touch on it real quickly, remember there are other benefits you can reap from doing poses even if they're the end. Also, plateauing is not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you've reached your body's limit. Continuous practice of poses that you've mastered, so to speak, is really good for you because, as people say, if you don't use it, you will lose it. So you do want to keep practicing that and recognize the fact that your lack of progress is actually a good thing. Finally, are you looking at the right things or the right aspects of yoga? I know that sometimes I suggest bringing a pose that you really want to learn how to do, or thinking about something you want to achieve, but you have to look at the small steps as well to achieve that ultimate pose. There are a lot of very advanced poses that would be really, really cool to be able to do, but you have to meet all these tiny little basic requirements first. If you're just looking at that pose and saying you still can't do it yet, then you have to practice all these other things more to get there. You can't just look at that and say, I'm not there yet. You have to look at the other steps and say, hey, I'm one step closer to being there. So the most important thing I can leave you with in this video is recognizing that baby steps are very real and they're not a bad thing and they're just as good. So you might think you're on a plateau, but it's probably actually a very slight incline rather than, a plateau per se. There's a lot of mountain analogies going on right now, so I feel like I should probably stop there before I start, going off into explaining how nature is a wonderful metaphor for the human body. So I'm going to leave you guys with another video by a YouTuber, and I'm going to leave it down in the description below. He talks more about plateaus from a weightlifting perspective, and he says a lot of the same things I do, but he offers a lot more insight and goes a little bit more in depth into things like journals. I know I've said it before, and I'm pretty sure I even said it before he came out with that video, but he offers a lot of insight, and I figure you guys can go check it out there or in my older video. So leave a comment down below if you've hit a plateau or you have experience getting out of plateaus. Sometimes you just have to figure out what's going on and why you've even hit the plateau to begin with. So if you have any questions or comments, leave that down below. Don't forget to like this video. It really helps me out, lets me know that you enjoy what you're seeing. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's the best way for YouTube to let you know if I released any new videos. I also want to say next week's videos is going to be all about the sun salutation A. I was planning on releasing that today, but I ran into technical difficulties, so you're getting this instead.